When you need an old air conditioner out of an old car, you need an old car. This is our old van. It's been sitting out in our grove for a while. So when you need an air conditioner, grab it from an old car. Here's some tips. Open the hood. Sometimes it needs a little help. Now here's an old gas guzzler we got sitting around the yard. It just kind of sits around. Maybe you've got a junk car in your yard too, but we save it for parts. And we get parts out of our old vehicles and we like to save everything. We're not going to remove the air conditioner out of this vehicle, but we're going to use it for a reference for you if you want to take one out. Now as we look under the hood, we're going to look for the air conditioner compressor. Here's the alternator. And here's our air conditioner compressor right here. You'll see there's a big belt running around here, and right over here are our pipes. 1, 2. Here's our 12 volt DC power cord that engages the clutch. One of the important things about removing an air conditioner from a used vehicle is to make sure that the Freon, the refrigerant, is out of the system. This is why it might be more feasible to get an air conditioner from a salvage yard or a junk yard. So what you want to do is make sure that there is no Freon in the system. Usually when you need to check to see if there's Freon in the system, there's a little cap and you can press in a little pin. Oh, I hear something. That means there's Freon in the system. So with Freon in the system, what you need to do now is get it properly taken out of the system. This particular vehicle uses R12, a very nasty Freon, and it's illegal to vent it into the atmosphere. So you can contact an HVAC person to come out and reclaim the Freon from the vehicle. Once your Freon is reclaimed from the vehicle, what you want to do is remove everything. So every bracket that you see around the compressor, you may end up wanting to save everything for mounting onto your makeshift holder. And that Sawzall we talked about before, you would be cutting these off here, these pipes, because we're going to be putting hoses over either one of these. Now that we have our air conditioner out of our vehicle safely and properly, there are a few issues to consider. While this air conditioner is on your vehicle, 12 volts DC engages a clutch that helps turn the pulley. What we need to do is we need to engage that all the time. There are a couple of things we can do to do this. We could do some welding and tack it together. That's one way of keeping the clutch together on the air conditioner.
There's also the farmer's best friend, JB Weld. It's a heavy-duty epoxy which you can buy in any hardware store for about $5 or $6. You would mix the two together equally, and you would apply some on the clutch and pulley area of the air conditioner itself. We'll go through that in a little bit. Another tricky yet cheap way to do it would be to take a drill bit, providing you can drill into where the area is. You would drill into the area and take a screw and put a screw in between the pulley and the clutch, therefore keeping it together in one piece, holding it. On my particular compressor, what I did was I spot welded, I tacked an area right on the clutch, right there. This keeps the pulley and the clutch together while they turn around. For practical purposes now, we're going to put a screw right in between this pulley and this clutch. What I just did, I used a 1/4 inch bit and a 1/4 inch sheet metal screw, just screwed right in between the two of them. That'll help keep them together. Now let's talk about electric motors. You'd be surprised how many electric motors get scrapped and thrown out every day in this country. Besides, who wants to go and buy one for $90 when they're throwing this stuff out all the time? This particular motor here came out of a really old furnace. Probably shouldn't have been in there in the first place, so they upgraded their furnace and put a new one in. Well, the motor's very good condition. It's really old, but it suits our purposes here. It's a belt-driven motor that used to drive a fan. Has a pulley on it already, has a bracket on it. Now chances are when you get your motor, they'll just cut it out of a furnace and you'll just have a cord sitting on the end of it. Well, what we want to do is we want to put a plug on this so we can plug it into the wall later on. So what do? Well, you could do it yourself. Chances are you can talk to the people that you got it from and have them throw a cord on it real quick. It might only cost you a couple of bucks. Now, when you get motors, scrap, used, or something that's about to get thrown away, don't just go in their scrap pile and start looking around and start taking parts out of somebody's pile. If you go in and talk to the business owner and say, hey, I would like to get an old motor off of a furnace. Do you have any scrap furnaces that I could get one from? Most of them will say, yeah.